Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Improv and RPG channel. My name is Matt, and we are bringing to you another episode of our Around the World in 80 Days campaign with our Globe Trekker Society. Now, before we get started, of course, I want y'all to, if you haven't already, to meet my wonderful cast, my wonderful players. Of course, for each of y'all players, I'll ask you for your name, your pronouns, your character name, their pronouns, and anything you have to promote, maybe where people can find you if you want to be found. We will start with Henry with Liam on deck.
So, hi, my name is Henry, he, him pronouns, and I am playing Vinny Vulpes, they, them pronouns. And yeah, I'm just very happy to be here. It's been 2 months since we played this game. I am super excited to get back into it. Got really nothing to promote, and I'm just ready to rock and roll.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Henry. Let's go over to Liam with Kaylee on deck.
Hey all, my name's Liam, he, him, and today I will be playing Logan Chesterton, also he, him pronouns, and I also run a channel called A Geek of One's Own where I do a whole lot of TTRPG stuff. Yesterday I was on with Matt and we discussed what it's like to be a first-time player and the things you should and shouldn't know. Well, that you should know in general, do and shouldn't do.
Yes, exactly.
And part 2 of that will be coming out soon. So yeah, if you like TTRPG stuff, definitely come give me a follow.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Liam. I've just linked Liam's channel, Twitch channel in the chat, so y'all make sure to drop him a follow and check out, next time I'll be popping on, and of course his wonderful content. But let's jump over to Kaylee with myself on deck.
Hello, hi, I'm Kaylee, she, they. I am playing Mungo Fitzgibbons, the aristocrat, he, him, pronouns for Mungo. When I'm not playing Mungo, you can find me as an adventure specialist at Mastermind Adventures, where we run professional tabletop games of all kinds, all different GMs running games. So hop in, find a game for you or a young person.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Kaylee. Of course, I'm Matt. You can find me here and everywhere as Improv and RPG. I've got a couple links that are showing up in the chat about our past adventures. Of course, this group has been through a lot, and if you need to catch up on any of our past episodes, then check out my YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see like everything that they've been through. And see, how much they've grown since we started, all the way back in Porto, Portugal. But, now, after our party was able to successfully thwart the Lime Leopard, they were able to secure the location, the next spot, to which they have to continue to complete this homage of the Around the World in 80 Days journey. And now, the group has been able to secure tickets onto a fairly prestigious new means of conveyance. I mean, not means of conveyance in general, but here, this new branch of the Orient Express from Paris to Amsterdam, a brand new path from one extravagant city to the next. Now, of course, for anyone who is unfamiliar with our wonderful cast of characters, you can see that we have that fantastic art on the overlay as well, where you'll be able to see what each of the characters look like. But let me ask my players, just in case you're just listening, when you stroll up, getting ready for this train adventure, um, what does your character look like? What might they be wearing? What does their expression say, especially after everything they've gone through? I'll go in the same order. Let's start with Vinny. Henry, what's Vinny looking like right now?
So, it has been quite a lot for Vinny since the last time, you know. Vinny feels very proud of themselves for thwarting the Lion Leopard, this apparently amateur thief who could apparently, lie, cheat, and steal using children for her own gain. Like, that's a big no-no for Vinny. But then again, it's kind of like a lesson for Vinny. Be like, there is a huge responsibility being a fixer, a consultant of some sort, to fix all the problems in the world. But that comes with baggage. But I think there's a lot of things that have been learned on this lesson, and the fact that Vinny's friends were like super on point and like in it together to make sure that everything was running smoothly. And as Vinny said before, there's a lot of probabilities that Vinny can't count for when fixing problems, and it's those that are unpredictable that apparently solve the problems. So I think there's a newfound confidence, but also it's kind of like, okay, let's kind of work around with this. Let's see how it goes.
Fantastic. Okay, how about Logan? Liam, how's Logan looking after all these ordeals so far?
So I mean, Logan is looking good because last I remember we got to go in a very fancy store and get some very fancy suits and dresses.
True.
So Logan feels pretty good, but Logan I think feels a bit exhausted. Definitely, it's been very eventful. There's been car chases. There's been getting into an accident on purpose too. So there's a lot of, there was a kidnapping. So I think Logan is just kind of keen to get on the train, find a bunk, and just call it a day. Sleep all the way to wherever they're going and not have to think about a thing.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna be able to do that. I'm very pumped. Let's go over to Mungo. How's Mungo looking? There were quite a few tense moments. I feel like he's been on such a roller coaster as both Mungo and as his alter ego, Louis Pleasure. And so
What about that?
He's dealt with so much. How is he looking right now?
Yeah, I think this is sort of, treated overall it's treated well by the all the misadventures and traveling. Like, he's, traditionally quite a sort of buttoned up kind of lad, and like now
Right.
he's still buttoned up, but he's like, maybe his top collar or his collar button is open, maybe his sleeves are rolled up a little bit. He's got a little bit of color in his face, whereas in the past he was very, very pale, fair fellow. But like, yeah, he's maybe he's got a little bit of stubble growing even because he hasn't had his like manservant there to shave him. Hair's a little messy, maybe. Yeah, he's not quite he's grown up a little bit. He's not quite the sort of young flower, I don't know if that's a phrase, that he was. He's weathered a little bit more, I think.
Yeah.
And overall it's working for him. Yeah.
Absolutely, a bit seasoned.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. So, as the three of you continue on your journey, you get to our the train station. And question for y'all: when you go here, of course your transit is taken care of. I would say that maybe this Vinny, you'd probably receive a little letter from one of your Passepartout friends
Oh,
And
yes.
and it contains, 3 tickets, 3 tickets for each of you, one for each of you, and you do note that, as far as the tickets are concerned, they are first class. However, there's an additional thing where it says that you've been cordially invited to participate in a special game because, and I would say that like it's part of like the I guess the christening of this new branch, this new train. And of course, as you walk up, the train looks magnificent. This is a train that, aside from testing to make sure that it's safe, to make sure that it works, no one else has been on this train. So, like, even as people are lining up, it looks incredible. It looks amazing. Nary a scratch in sight. And as part of this, they wanted to commemorate it by having some important people involved in this game, in a little murder mystery game. And there are lots of people who would love to see this, but they're just gonna have to wait. They're just gonna have to, like, it's so exclusive. Like, y'all are the big celebrities here. You've also heard that there is a famous detective that is on board as well, who will be overseeing said game. Someone by the name of Renee Rose, which y'all would be familiar with as being quite the, I'd say maybe the number one detective in the world potentially, but I don't know. Would any of y'all have met Renee before?
I think probably not met, but if, like, again, this is sort of like a celebrity who's like exploits her in the paper and things like that. I think Mungo would have had like a little bit of a, boyhood sort of interest in this. Like maybe he's fanboying a little bit. Maybe he's like excited to meet this guy.
Fantastic. Okay. Excellent. Great. Well, anyone else?
I'm wondering, as a fixer, one who fixes problems in the shadows, I don't know. I would definitely love the fact that there have been times where probably Vinny has brushed past Rose, maybe sometimes on the wrong end, but eventually coming, to understanding that we have to both work together to solve something together. I would love something like that. Maybe not as Vinny, or maybe like, I don't know. Renee Rose is a very renowned detective, so is it he or she for Renee Rose?
I would say it's fairly ambiguous.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
so like I would say Renee is probably smart enough to figure out like whatever disguise that Vinny was dawned on. Renee figured it out. That's like, oh yeah, of course you're Vinny. But I think like they probably have worked on a thing like one time. It was like a one-time thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would say like, much like Vinny, when it comes to certain circumstances, if you feel like you need to, be a little more charming in a feminine way or in a masculine way, Renee has been known to do that similarly as well, to be able to uncover things. As far as they're concerned, you can use any pronouns for them. They accept all of them.
Perfect. Right.
How about Logan?
I reckon Logan is, especially in his tired state at the moment, he's probably like Renee Rose. I know the name. I know clearly it's someone, but he's just trying to work as hard as his mental capacity will allow at the moment to remember. And he goes through memories of parties and events and newspaper, and he keeps trying to think back like, it sounds familiar, but he just can't distinguish whether it's someone that he's read about in the paper or if it's someone he worked for or someone he worked for invited over for a party. So he's just very confused as to who the heck that might be. It's familiar,
Great.
but unknown.
Fantastic. Well, y'all know this person is supposed to be here to oversee this murder mystery. And there are lots of people whispering. There are lots of people as you go up to the train. There are a lot of people who seem quite wealthy who aren't being permitted on board. Like, they're trying to get a ticket, especially after hearing that the Globe Trekker Society is going to be on. But they're not being let on board because it seems to be quite the exclusive affair. It seems like everyone who has tickets, they're supposed to be there, and anyone trying to get tickets after the fact, tough luck, maybe next time. But I'd say right when you get closer, someone immediately comes up and like they say, "Hello, I've been told that you'll be participating in the game."
Oh, yes.
Yes, apparently, yes.
Excellent. Would you like assistance with? I'm assuming y'all have bags, but if not, he'll offer to help with them.
Oh, yes, thank you so much.
Yes, of course. But he will lead you to the back, and like he'll set down like what bags he was able to assist with, and say, please just make your way inside. Make yourselves comfortable. This, I believe the game will be underway as soon as the train embarks.
Very exciting.
Yes.
Intriguing indeed.
Of course. Now, when you step up on board, the door that you go through immediately leads you into a dining car. This dining car, you'll note that there are quite a few fancy chairs that aren't affixed. At least not like the typical everyone facing one way. You would be able to move them. They do seem quite heavy. They have this nice kind of like turquoise-ish finish, wood, and there are these tables with bright blue tablecloth. You would also note that you smell the smell of a few different scents. There's quite a few foods that are currently being prepared. I'd say at the like front station, but like this would also be where you would lead into the next car and the next car. But y'all would smell. There is like a sugary smell of almonds, smell of things that are being baked. There's pastries, there's bread, there are, I would say you could catch a faint glimpse through the doorway of sandwiches being set up. Just sliced crustless, of course, onto like the several tier trays where you have a plate here with like 2 sandwiches that are tiny, a plate here, another 2 sandwiches that are tiny, that one crowning plate that has 1 sandwich or half of one, just to make it extra fancy. But as you get up on board, the gentleman helps you with your bags in. He also notes that if you go to the very back, beyond this dining car, that's where your sleeping cabins are. You as well as the other guests who have been invited to participate. It looks like they're probably getting situated back there as we speak. So if y'all want to hang out, I could have someone come bring some food by, or you can go get set up in your rooms, whatever you want.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Thank you.
Yeah, I think
Of course.
Logan's gonna nod and just like try to stay professional because that's what he knows. But at the same time, I think he's still got a graze above his eye and everything, and it's just like room will be nice.
Great. Okay, Lee, if you're talking, you're muted.
Yep. I just want to check. It said on the invitations that like the detective Renee Rose would be there. So
Yes.
we know about that. Okay. So yeah. So in that case, I'm just like, yes. I mean, that does sound nice to have a bit of relaxation. Is Detective Rose in here? Because I do think it would be fascinating to speak with them.
Yes.
If possible.
I believe his bunk, and he just kind of looks through just a little notepad of names. I believe he has the last bunk in the cabin quarters. If you want to, don't tell anyone I said that, but if you want to, just a little light knock. I think he's getting ready.
Well, I don't want to interrupt his process. I'm sure they're very busy, so I don't want to interfere with that.
Well, no. Hey, look, I feel based on what I know about the process. I'm sure that when the game starts, you probably won't have a chance to talk because you'll be in character, right? So
That's true. Yes,
maybe
yes.
This might be a good time to get a little in, maybe get some hints or something.
It's just the thought of speaking to someone with such an amazing mind is just rather
Right.
exciting.
Right, absolutely. So, give it a shot. Or if you need, there's some liquid courage up front. I could have someone bring, some scotch or something.
No, I don't want to get too loose with my words.
Oh, fair. Okay. Well, again, last cabin in the quarters. You didn't hear it from me.
Thank you.
Is there anything else any of you need?
I'll tip him a couple monies for helping with our luggage and also the
Much
the tip
obliged.
about-
Thank you.
Do we know? Do our tickets tell us which bunk we're in and which quarters we're in?
Yes, I would say like along with that, like you've marked out for hang on, we've got Logan in room 4. We've got Mungo in room 8, and we've got Vinny in room 1.
One. Ooh, lovely.
Yeah. So
So yeah, I'm gonna go straight for my room.
great.
Right.
Okay. So we have Logan going straight for his room. Are Mungo and Vinny sticking around here, or are you
Yeah.
looking to get? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll drop off my stuff at my room, I guess, or I don't know if it was dropped off there already, but I will also I'll do as he says, and I'll check out the detective. So
Okay.
yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Great. As both of you start to head back, you would see. You know what? Hang on. We're gonna do a little roll here.
Oh.
It's not a matter of high-low. It's just a matter of who you run into.
Oh. Okay.
So I'm gonna have, in this case, because I know who Mungo's after, Logan, I want you to roll a d6, and we will see who you run into.
Alrighty.
Mm.
How about a 4?
4. Great. Okay. So, with number 4, you run into you see a feminine presenting person with short brown hair, combed left to right. She wears black pants, sturdy boots, a gray shirt that seems very durable, functional in most any type of weather, except for maybe like in the desert or something in high heat. But you note that like as she's moving with her bags, it's just the one bag actually, one very very compact bag, and she moves forward very efficiently. There's no wasted motion. She's able to open the door very quickly and move in with the bag. When she looks over, she makes eye contact with you, and she kind of looks down and up, sizes you up, but in a not in a checking you out kind of way, but more so in a is this person a threat kind of way.
And which room is that person going in?
This person is going into room 5.
Room 5. I'll just give them a polite nod, and then just turn around and go in my room.
Great. This person will nod at you as well. And I'd imagine that you can detect like just an air of respect because you're not wasting time with any careless words here.
Yeah.
Great.
And just so for my brain and set up, the rooms, is room 5 directly across from room 4 or directly after?
Oh, so as you start going from the dining car, the hallway goes to the right, and so all the rooms are on the left.
Okay.
So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 10.
Beauty.
Yeah, and you're able to get into your room fairly easily. You would note that it's fairly spacious for a train like quarters. It seems like they've gone all out as far as like this. They're VIPs in this back cabin area for this particular event. As you go in, you would see that there is a very nice bed. It's a bed for 2. If the mood ends up striking you, Logan. You would also see that there on the pillow there are these nice little rectangular foil wrapped things that you would imagine probably some kind of chocolate. There is also an area for you to set up your bags that is secured. There's like a bar so that it won't like slide off, as well as a little desk with a chair, a lamp, and a nice big view of outside. So
yeah, I think Logan's just gonna start getting a bit more comfortable. He's gonna make sure he locks the door because his experience in riding in train is in crew quarters sort of places, and privacy is really hard to come by. So it's almost a reflex. Like he's like, this is my space. I don't want anyone barging in.
great.
So kind of locks the door, gets a bit undressed, closes out the view with a curtain. At this stage, all he wants is just to like crash down, and yeah, he's just gonna flop down on the bed and just. I think he goes out like a light fairly quickly.
Fantastic. And here, I would say like when you do flop down onto the bed, in addition to the chocolates, underneath there is just a little envelope, and in that envelope there are instructions. You would note that it says on top of it, it says Logan, and it says your role, which in this case is the businessman. And it does say, don't reveal any of this until the game starts. But it has some details as far as who you are, what your relation is to the murdered, as well as something you might have heard. And that's true for everyone else as well. Now, Logan, I'm gonna come back to you. You're taking a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a rest after getting the instructions. I'm gonna go over to Mungo. Mungo, you head over to room 10 at the end of the train. I'd say like you would see that there's the door to the room, and then there might be just a little bit of like a little bit of space before you get to like the back door of the train, where you might be able to like take a quick look out if you wanted to. And that area is fairly enclosed as well, as though it's designed so that if you wanted to get a very grand view of whatever the train is going by, you're invited to step out and take a look. But how do you approach? Are you giving it a good old knock?
Yeah, I think basically what Mungo does is he sort of gathers up his courage and then knocks, and then immediately is like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Sort of panicking after he's already knocked.
Great. Is this, what are you doing? Is this like muttering verbally out loud, or is this just inside?
It's just inside, yeah, but he is like definitely making faces and then trying to like arrange his face to look normal if the door suddenly opens.
Great. Sounds good. Well, here's the odd thing. It's like the internal monologue going through Mungo's head. Like that sense of nervousness you can kind of hear. It's like you're like, wait a second, I'm not saying this out loud. What's going on? But you hear from the other side of the door, it's like there's this other voice. It's like, yeah, what are you doing? I don't know if I could do this. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I've never done this before. And then they're like, oh yeah, there's a knocking. And then the door opens, and expecting to see the confident red hair of Renee Rose, you're unfortunately disappointed as you see a fairly young-looking man, clean-shaven, wide-eyed, neat-cut black hair with a mid-part. He's wearing a long black trench coat with a yellow and brown plaid vest underneath and a top hat. And he says, "Hi. What do you need?"
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have the wrong room. I was looking for Detective Rose. I'm sorry.
Oh no! You don't have the wrong room. I mean, if you're looking for them, this is the right room. But they're not here right now. My name is Reynold Fallon. I'm a detective in training, and well, Renee wanted to rest a little bit, so they're actually at the very front. They said that I could take care of it, and I don't know if I could take care of it, but I think I can take it. It's just a game, right? It's not like a real like a murder, so I should be able to do it. But I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. Are you here for the game?
Yes, I'm one of the people.
Great, it's nice to meet you. And he'll reach out a hand.
Mungo shakes it. He's like, I was prepared to be the nervous one in this scenario, and now he's like totally flustered.
Well, you go to shake it, and you can feel like his hand is very clammy. Like he's been sweating a lot. And it's like as you're shaking it, you feel the pressure just oscillating, because he's like, it's almost like he can't decide if he's gonna use strength or, oh, that's too much. Oh no, wait, but firm is better, right? Oh, but what if I hurt someone? It's like that's going through his head, and so it's like it's an odd feeling on your hand in addition to the clamminess of it. But he'll say, yeah, I'm, and then he'll point to a name tag, and it does say Renee Rose, the detective. They didn't bother to make a backup name tag for Reynold Fallon here.
Amazing.
But he says, "Yeah, it's nice to meet you. I should be able to get started soon. I think when the train starts, which it shouldn't take too long."
Oh, yes. Well, my name is Mungo Fitzgibbons. Would you, and I sort of remove my hand and wipe it on my
Oh, I'm sorry.
trousers
I'm
a
so
little bit.
sorry. I'm just really nervous.
No, that's quite all right. Listen, I mean, I understand you're in the company of a great detective. Obviously, that's
Yeah, and a celebrity.
me. Sorry?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's very kind of you. But
You foiled the lime leopard.
well, I mean, I suppose I did. I mean, not just me. My companions and I. It was.
Are they here too?
Oh yes, we're all here.
Oh my gosh.
The next stop on our journey, as it were.
Okay, I better get ready. It was nice to meet you. And he'll like kind of turn around and just start like kind of like tidying up his clothes, and then oh shoot, I forgot to, and then he'll go, "Sorry, it has to meet you," and then he'll close the door, and then you hear him like just frantically moving stuff.
Just sort of like wave as he closes the door. Nice meeting you as well.
Yeah. Nice meeting you. I'll
Bye.
see you in the dining car.
We'll see you then. It didn't quite go as expected.
You just kind of hear like a big like from inside the door once it's like fully closed.
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to consider where you might want to go next. I'm gonna jump over to Vinny real quick. Vinny,
Ooh.
you're chilling in the dining car area right now.
Yeah.
So are you looking for who's showing up? Are you keeping an eye on the people like that are preparing food, or what's your plan here?
Yeah, I think so. The bags are already in my room. I think I already went there and just like, oh, this is nice. Sort of like, feel the little like the mattresses. He's like, oh, this is very comfy. I would love to just like, sleep later on. But, gotta get a good layout of the whole place, I think that fixer instinct just sort of kicks in a little bit just to be like, oh, yeah, this is the thing at hand. Might as well, like explore this new Orient Express. It is very, very good. Just like touching on the side, just like mahogany, lovely. And I think like Vinny is very hungry. Like if everyone's reaction toward like after the lion leopard is like either sleeping, I think for Vinny is like, oh, I gotta eat something like a big breakfast or something like that.
Excellent.
Yeah. So I think Vinny's just waiting for like food, like food. Just like, oh, gotta try out the food here in this new Orient Express.
Great.
Love this.
Well, you've got quite the selection here. You've got I'd say like as far as like lighter snacks, they have like sugared almonds, various nuts, candied and otherwise. There are little like cucumber finger sandwiches. There are bountiful pastries like coulis amann, pain au chocolat, all these things that are beckoning to you, calling to you. There are of course like various coffees, cappuccinos that you could use to wash those down with, as well as some more adult beverages if you wanted to loosen up a little bit. But I want you to roll a d6 for me.
Ooh.
And while you're doing that, since you did mention that you went over to the room real quick, you would have found your envelope underneath the pile of chocolates. And yours, of course, says, Vinny, the Countess.
Excellent. And I assume a costume has already been prepared.
Yes,
or
absolutely.
a selection of
I'm
costumes.
Sorry, I did not mention that, but in a second, after everyone has had a chance to go into their rooms, I will have each of you describe what your character's version of the businessman or the countess looks like. So essentially, they'll have various clothing items that you could choose to complete the ensemble,
Yeah.
really immerse yourself. But what role do you have on your die?
Oh, haven't done that yet. So it's a 1.
It's a 1. Okay. So here's what I'll say. When you go over to get some food, and it seems like they're really hard at work. Like they haven't. You would know that there's like some carts that they would use to wheel the food out, but because they're making sure everything is perfect, they haven't wheeled those out for anyone yet. However, because y'all are the VIPs, they're more than happy to serve you whatever you want. Is there a particular sort of item that you're more drawn to right now?
Yeah, so I feel like it's like, right, sugar almonds, better chocolate. I mean, we are VIPs, aren't we?
Yes.
And I'm very famished and incredibly hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get one of each?
Great. Okay, so here's what I'll say. Like as you're looking at these dishes, like it's fairly crowded as far as like, you know, other people working in this car. But when you say one of each, you would know that you hear a familiar female voice coming from behind you that also says, one of each. And this female voice, it's been a minute since you've heard this. But I would say familiar except for the tone. Because the last time y'all had heard this voice, it was very sad. It was very despondent, desperate even. And as you turn to look, you see long black hair. She's wearing just a black dress, but you wouldn't mistake it. Beautiful, but happy this time. This is Sofia Ferreira from Porto, Portugal, the one who you had saved from a loveless marriage from the Duke's son, of course, Tomas Borba.
Tomas. Yeah, down Tomas.
Right. But you would see as like the people here working are starting to dish things up after she, in almost in perfect unison with you, says one of each. She like is like helping herself too. She's like, oh yeah, don't worry, I got this.
yeah, I'm just the same. It's like, don't worry, I got this.
Yeah,
also in unison with her.
Exactly. But do you wanna say anything?
Yeah, I think I imagine there's a moment that we're all just doing this in unison, and then there's a moment where we're just like, wait a minute, why is this person saying the exact same thing as me? And then turn around and then just like both at the same time to each other.
Vinny!
Sophia!
It's so good to see you.
Oh my god, it's so good to see. I gently like set down the tray. It's like, let's put out our things first, like
Yes,
like our massive tray of stuff, and yeah, just give her a hug. It's been so long.
Yeah, and as you do, you would feel just like something hard right here, and you would see, as after you pull away, because she hugs you hard too. But you would see that she also has a name tag, and this would have been included along with like your little envelope with your instructions. The name tag, hers says the heiress.
Oh, wow! I mean, Sophia, how have you been? Like, it's been how many? Yeah, like how are you doing? Like, has Porto been treating you well ever since the nudge? And I just give her a nudge.
I haven't been back. I started working for the Orient Express. Both of us did. Lucas is a librarian up near the front of the train.
Oh my God, Lucas! Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm honestly. And I just put like a hand on her shoulders. Like, I am so happy for you, and I'm glad that this has worked out for you.
Thank you. It's all thanks to you and your friends. If it weren't for you, I I would have been stuck there
Oh,
with that asshole.
Tomas. I just like shake a fist.
Tomas.
Tomas. Yeah. Anyway. But that aside, it is. I mean, we us three we just got tickets. Was that Lucas's doing? Because I got that from our friends. Like
No. Well, we wouldn't have the power to do that. Honestly, I normally I would just be helping with serving and doing that around here. I mean, he's the pro when it comes to books and whatnot, and so the wealthier clientele for these trains would usually go to him for recommendations. But I guess maybe someone saw the customer service, because I always wanted to. I honestly, since you saved me, I've felt so much happier, and I feel like that kind of bleeds into whatever I'm doing. And if you have service with a smile, I guess people notice. And so they wanted me to be a VIP in a way, kind of a plant to make sure that things go well in the game.
Yeah, of course. And seeing that smile on you is definitely, I mean, it warms my heart, honestly. And I just jokingly look at the train. I was like, well, as for someone in the service industry, I could see you are doing yourself a service as well.
Of course. I have to make sure that at the end of the day, when they ask me how it was, I can tell them about everything. And I make sure to take advantage of everything I can.
Indeed. But I can also, if you don't mind me pointing out, but you're also playing in the murder mystery game as well.
Exactly. Yes.
Ooh.
So that in case, sometimes people might be a little more shy, so then I can help, so that it's not all gonna be on our illustrious detective.
All right, yeah, Renee Rose. How did you get that? How did you what's the trade secret? Or how did you get such an illustrious detective, or for this thing, or was it just
Well, from what I understand, the person who set up this branch of the Orient Express has a lot of money, and I mean, it seemed like Renee Rose, as far as their schedule was concerned, it all just kind of lined up perfectly. So, sometimes the stars align.
Sometimes the stars align, and I just gestured to Sophia, just and it's so happy to see you. The stars do align indeed. We'll love. I mean, I'd love to chat more, and then I think I just take her trays, sit her down at dining. I think we just just go through every single thing.
Just go wild.
Just go wild, and also be like, oh my god, sugar almonds, actually going over, but okay, maybe this is the thing you could say to people if you are presenting the pastries, kind of like that, helping more stuff. Yeah, and I think I just catch up with Sophia. Oh.
Great. Excellent. Okay, so I'm gonna jump back over to Logan. Logan, you're able to rest up a little bit. You've got your instructions, you've got your name tag. You would notice that there are quite a few clothes available. But right now, what are you inclined to do? I'll ask you for the costume next time I come back to you. You're muted.
That I am. So has the train started moving yet, or are we still kind of waiting for that to happen?
There are certain people that are still boarding, but it's getting close. I'd imagine that if there's final calls, you would hear people calling that out from outside.
Yeah, so I imagine I've been lying there and I've kind of read the character a bit.
Yeah.
I started dozing off, and then I'm hearing a lot of the whistles and the things that are happening right outside of my window, and it's keeping me awake. And eventually I'm just kind of I feel rested, but also restless. And so I quickly get up and I go and I read over my character again. And I kind of look and I start looking through the different clothes that they've put on us. And I kind of smile and nod. I'm like, oh, this will be interesting. And so we know this is going to be like a murder mystery type thing, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So, so I think Logan kind of likes this idea of the mystery and everything, and kind of thinks to himself, maybe I tried to make preparations for this. And so he's going to try to think back to, oh, there's a raid.
Oh my gosh. Raid. Holy crap, y'all. Thank you so much for the raid. Anox, welcome raiders. Oh my goodness. We're playing a TTRPG right now. For those of you who aren't familiar, tabletop role-playing game. And we're playing, it's called Flabbergasted, but welcome y'all. We're decked out. They're about to do a murder mystery act right now, so I'm very excited. But thank you so much for being here. Y'all are fantastic. Y'all are fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. So preparations, Logan. What kind of preparations?
So I'm thinking the kind of the stereotypical stuff that you would imagine like people would put into place. So like the hair trick, where you like pull a hair and like put it on the windowsill or whatever to see if it's been disturbed, or
okay.
Just random little things, making sure I memorize where everything is in the room, like looking under my mattress to see if there's nothing that's been hidden there that could be a problem to me. Then I kind of look in the mirror and I kind of practice a bit of a voice for my character. And then I just think back, I'm like, oh, I wonder who the general will be. And this person, and Morty, yes, Morty, okay, that's an interesting relationship. And I just kind of start kind of like pulling myself together and putting myself into character.
Yes.
And then I think once I've done that for a little bit, I'll probably just kind of open my door, look left and right, and like at this point, I'm like fully suspicious of everything. And like I've gone from I'm really tired to I am in this game 1000%. And I almost kind of start walking around like I'm in character already, making notes. And that's when I kind of remember back to this person I just met. I'm like, they were in room 5. They acted suspiciously. Even though they weren't in character, but like I'm already just judging everything based on my character. Just looking left, right, just slowly, like trying to be sneaky about it, but probably not super sneaky about it. Just like listening at every door as I'm walking by really slowly. And I imagine I'll make my way to the dining room, and I'll see Vinny just catching up with Sophia, and I'm just kind of like eyeing them from the distance, just being like, I don't know who these people are yet.
Okay.
You just see Vinny just looking at you at a corner, just like he's like pointing at Sophia. He's like,
I'm just squinting, kind of making a interesting.
And Sophia is just waving.
Hello, friends.
Hello, and she'll actually like get up and just run towards you, like arms outstretched, trying to meet for the hug.
I think it kind of takes me by surprise because I'm so in character, but also I'm a member of the staff. Like I'm not used to people who are aristocrats or people that have social standing to all of a sudden run at me and hug me. So there's a very awkward, like she almost kind of tackles me. I take a step back and then it's like that awkward, like tap on the shoulder. I don't know what to do with this right now. Like, almost looking at Vinny going like, help?
Just like thumbs up. Vinny's like thumbs up in the back. It's like, you're doing great.
Great.
And I'll just kind of make eye contact, like get a bit of distance and be like, so Sophia, so nice to see you again. What What are you doing here?
Yes, I'm here working and here for the game. I work on the train.
Oh, yes, and then I look at the tag and I'm like, the Harris. I don't think I know that character yet. It'll be great to meet you.
You'll find out. Would you roll a d6 for me real quick, Liam?
Oh, Liam, not Logan. That was such a weird thing for Sophia to ask.
Out of the game, meta. Is this part of the game of the murder mystery?
That's when Logan's like, oh yes, my lucky die 6. I always keep it on me.
Wait, there was dice in the envelope. Oh my god.
Oh. That's a 2.
A 2, great. So it's like as you're catching up, you would hear a voice coming from your right because you're facing the dining car. And this voice is coming from room 2. The door is wide open, and you hear this voice that's just as it comes out, you see this masculine presenting person with a well-trimmed beard, mustache, perfectly groomed, a well-fitted red suit. He stands up, maybe about 5'9", and he walks with a very distinct confidence as he makes eye contact specifically with Sophia, flashing a devilish smile and say, so, the heiress, eh? Pleasure to make your acquaintance. And it's almost like he's completely ignoring you, Logan. And like she still in very much customer service mode, like looks over at him and says, yes, it's nice to meet you, and like extends a hand for a handshake. And right in front of you, Logan, you see this man like grab hold of her hand and turn it to do the kiss on the back of the back of the hand. And you would see he has a name tag that says the Renegade. And she'll say, oh, this is Logan. And he's gonna say, oh, nice to meet you. But he doesn't look over to you. He's still just locked onto her eyes as he says that to you.
Yeah, I think Logan, just as Logan, not even as his character, feels very defensive of Sophia because we've gone through a lot to protect her, and having another sleazy guy just kind of roaming about around her, I think Logan's kind of like, he's just staying close, and it's just like, I don't know if this guy's in character. If he's in character, that's fine, we're all playing a game. But if he's not, he's like almost gonna look over at Vinny, and I kind of just shake my head, and I'm like,
yeah. Vinny squishes a pan du chocolat as he does as he kisses. Just the chocolate. It's like, oh god.
Yeah, I kind of nod. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, cool. Right, we both get it.
Great. So with that exchange, I'm gonna come back to y'all. Mungo, after meeting this detective, this very, very worried and nervous detective, of course, Reynold Fallon, still name tagged Renee Rose. Where would you like to go? What is your intention? Are you gonna go back to the dining car? Do you want to meet anyone else on the train so far?
Yeah, I'm going to go to my room. I'm gonna open my envelope, and then after that, I'm gonna go to the dining car.
Great.
With the others.
Great. So Mungo, of course, you find the same setup. Your envelope, of course, says Mungo and the General on it. And of course, you've got that nifty little name tag. Question for you: as far as like at this point, you have a little bit of time still, but would you get your clothes ready now, or would you do that in a little bit? Because at the moment, I don't think Vinny has yet. So
No.
Yeah, I think I will wait. I'll take this time to sort of be myself going into the dining car, because I think Reynolds said that Rose was like in the front. So
yeah,
like
Rose is at the very front.
Okay.
So,
Is that different than the dining car?
Oh, it's way past the.
Oh, okay.
Car.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll start in that direction. And maybe...
Okay.
Yeah,
Would you roll a
we'll
d6
see.
for me real quick?
Sure. That's a 3.
Okay. So, with a 3, you are going to it's like as you begin to walk, the door right in front of you swings open, and your vision is completely blocked. And then you hear heavy footsteps step out, and then the door, as it swings closed, you see a handsome, masculine-presenting person with a very chiseled jaw. He's got a dark blue suit with a tie, faint stubble. The suit is very well fitted, and you can see that he's got a very powerful frame. How tall was Mungo again?
Mungo is tall. I forget, maybe like 6'4" or something.
Oh my gosh, you've met your match, because this guy is probably about 6'5", so about the same.
All right, yeah.
But he stands very stiff. It feels like he doesn't quite belong here. And it's like, as he steps out, he swings the door closed, and then he notices you're there, and he says, "Oh, my apologies. I'm so sorry. I did not notice you were walking."
Oh, that's all right. Hello.
It's nice to meet you. My name is Robert. And he'll extend a hand, and you will see the name tag. It says "The Wanted" on his vest.
Mungo. Nice to meet you.
A pleasure.
Wanted.
Yes.
Well, I found you.
Right. You see, like, the way he responds, there's a little bit of a delay, that it seems like he doesn't get it. He doesn't understand. And so he'll say, are you heading to the dining car?
Yes, I was just on my way there. Would you care
yes.
to?
Of course.
And I think, sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no, please,
I was going to say, yeah, would I have put on my name tag even without the like full costume, or would it be like I wait until I wait to put on the name tag?
Up to you.
Okay,
Whatever you want.
because I think I'm not sure what the rest of the folks are, but if other people are like got their name tag on and then not the full costume, then maybe.
I would say that like these people all seem like the I would say the nature of the clothes. Maybe when you open up the trunk, with all the clothes and accessories, you can kind of see that there's like a consistent sort of fabric and like theme going on, where it doesn't look like what he's wearing, nor any of these other people, including Sophia. Sophia's clothes are also like, I mean, just a pure black dress that's almost like a funereal dress. Like, that's not something that you would normally see Sophia wearing. For this guy, like, here's the thing, right? Though this is costume, it seems like it fits him perfectly.
Gotcha.
And I would say that might be the same for all of you too, because of course you've been invited, because of course you are the VIPs. All of these clothes would be within the realm of these fit really well. And this guy just happens to have the frame where almost everything looks good on him.
Okay. So I probably don't have my name tag then.
Right.
I've left it with my, okay. So I'll say it. I'll be like, I haven't quite gotten into my my costume yet. But right, I wasn't supposed to say who I was before the game starts. But yes.
My apologies.
Or has the
I've
game
already-
started?
I don't think it's started yet.
Okay.
But I figured I would be ready.
Yes, very good. You look ready for the part.
Yes, thank you. Shall we?
Yes, we shall.
All right. And he will lead the way, and you can see though he does stand very stiff. He doesn't seem like he belongs anywhere. When he does move very powerfully. Like you can see that as far as every step, there's a certain grace to it, as though maybe if he were to though I'd say maybe not the most confident in demeanor, whatever he does involve his body, and he's confident with that. So as he leads the way, I would say at that point, that is when both of you would catch up to where Logan and Sophia are standing in the hall with this other gentleman who has just kissed the back of Sophia's hand. And Logan, you would, Mungo, you would see Logan, Vinny make eye contact. And I mean, from your angle, you would see Vinny's eyes. And it's like, okay.
Squishing a pan du chocolat.
Right, exactly. Excuse me, sorry. And Robert will just kind of slide past Logan and Sophia. But go ahead, Mungo.
Nice to see you again. My goodness. So, Sophia, is that you?
Yes, Mungo. And you would, Logan and Vinny, you would see a little disappointment in the face of the guy with the red
Mungo.
suit. As Sophia, he was holding on that kiss on the back of her hand, and she just kind of tosses it aside to run towards Mungo and goes for a leaping embrace.
I was caught slightly off guard, but hugs her back and is genuinely happy to see her. It's genuinely
It's so good to see
yes,
you.
You look well. Yes, it's.
Thank you.
I was
You
not
look
expecting
very
to see
good.
you, but thank you.
Have you been working out?
Not on purpose.
Oh, well, you just got a glow about you.
Oh, I haven't got to the part where, and I think from behind it's I haven't got to the part where with the stuff that we did in Paris. Oh, you should have seen Mungo.
Oh.
And I will say this with that, when you say the stuff you did in Paris, the guy with the red suit, his head immediately snaps towards yours, and you see that devilish smile as he starts coming towards you, Vinny.
Oh boy. I think something comes up and from my throat to my mouth, and it's definitely not the sugared almonds. That's for sure.
Great. Okay. So, here we go.
Here we go, indeed.
Logan, you see, of course, Mungo and Sophia reunite. And you see the guy in the red suit moving towards... Here's the thing, right? He starts to move towards where Vinny is, but Robert is still moving forward. But then Robert suddenly notices, his shoe's untied. He bends down, and then the guy in the red suit is moving forward, just transfixed, and then just slams into the butt of Robert and bounces off. Robert is huge, so he's just please, and he's trying to squish by, and Robert is just kind of focused on tying his shoes.
Yeah.
It's almost like someone trying to climb the side of a mountain, just navigating across the rock. But Logan, what would you like to do?
Probably chuckle. Do I need to roll for chuckle?
Well, when you do, he immediately his like you see the guy in the red suit, his face like snaps towards you, and you see like there's a little bit of flush in his cheeks.
But yeah, no. Beyond that, I kind of make a mental note of everybody's name tags, because obviously some of them I relate to, and I'm like, oh, I know something about you, and others I'm like, I know nothing about you.
Right.
So I go back into this detective mode that whatever Logan thinks a detective would be in his own brain, and just starts paying attention to everything again, and probably only retaining like 10% of it.
Great. Well, as you're doing that, well, a door from behind you, and also a little bit, it'd be in front of Mungo and Sophia, opens. And of course, this is the one of room 5, right next to yours, where you had Logan made eye contact and nodded to this feminine presenting person with the boots. And this person comes out, and you see on the name tag, the soldier. And she walks forward, and she makes eye contact with you and gives you a little nod.
Just, yeah, nod back.
And if that's all, she's just gonna walk past you.
Yeah, no, I feel like Logan is just being full observant right now, so he's just kind of staying there and trying to pick on every detail of everybody. He's like, that's a lot of red. I wonder what that means. Why is he wearing so much red with his suit? Wow, this guy's a giant. I wonder if how much he can bench press has any meaning into what's going to happen next.
I will.
So yeah, he's just like fully. It's not even the idea of, before it was a minimal nod because I was exhausted, and now it's a minimal nod because there's just like too many things happening in my brain that.
Right. I will tell you, the soldier did not put on a costume. Only has the name tag on. Same clothes as before. Okay. So.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to jump back to you in a hot second. Vinny, you've made several eye contacts. You've destroyed a pastry in your grasp.
Yeah. Still wiping it off. Well, chocolate's still on me.
Yeah, and you've seen, of course, the Renegade, as well as the Wanted. And they're kind of like making their way. And I'd say the Renegade has kind of like, the wind is out of his sails after like not being able to move at all with Robert's gigantic frame there. What do you want to do, Vinny?
Well, I think since everyone now has sort of like come into this space now, I think that's why I think Vinny just clocks. It's like, oh yeah, the game is about to begin soon, I imagine. Everyone is sort of like in their costumes now. The train has yet to move, right?
I'd say at this point, the doors into this car, they're closing. The outside, they're closing, and you see someone patrolling on the outside. It looks like they're just making their final rounds, but it's about to get started.
Okay, then I think that's like Vinny's cue to be like, okay, right, gotta go back to my room, gotta get changed for this murder mystery. So, I think, my room is like way beyond past this giant, right? Like, right?
Yeah. Well, it would be just past the giant.
Okay.
But it's just a shoe tie. I'd say he'd finish as you begin to stride up.
Yeah, I think, it's just stride up. It's like, whew, well, I think I just like, so you're the Wanted then.
Yes. It's a pleasure.
No, it's a pleasure as well. And I think just like the tall frame as he nods, I'm just like, it's like it's not often where Vinny has to like sort of like crane their neck to look up. It's like it's a pleasure as well. It's like right, well, I best be off to go change into my character. It has been lovely to meet you. Would love to know more about you once the game begins. And I just go ahead and just squeeze right by. I don't even like look at the renegade. I think I just sort of zoom past.
I'd say you'd hear just like on the side, because what happens is it's like as the two of you are interacting, the renegade is kind of like trying to like initially was trying one side, but when you walked up, Robert, no idea that the renegade is even there.
Yeah.
Shifts to that side and kind of like squishes him against the wall.
Yeah.
And you just kind of hear just like a squeaking out, just like, what about Paris? As you're able to get to your room.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Room.
Oh, but before I go to my room, and I think I just like go ahead and just like squeeze. I think I just like hold everyone together, like Mungo and Logan together. It's like Oz and just like the start of good memories together.
Great.
Logan's just looking at you suspiciously for absolutely no reason.
Logan, the game hasn't been started yet.
Don't even know who you are anymore.
Well, I will tell you who I am later on. I haven't actually looked at my. I have looked at my letter. But I will come back with my name tag, so you know who I am. Anyway, and I think I just go to look at Sophia again. It's like, well, and I think I purposely make this loud, and I'd be like, you have to tell me the honeymoon that you went on with Lucas, and like immediately darting my eyes to the renegade.
The renegade, just like you can see a visible like slump in his shoulder. Disappointment.
Yeah.
But you'll also see something else, because it's like when you mention that, it's like just the maybe just there being more of a commotion, especially as y'all had gathered out here. There's someone else that comes out. The three of you, and of course Sophia and everyone would see. This person. Well, this person as they slip out, it's like you wouldn't have noticed them opening their door even. It's almost like you just barely notice right as they come up to you. But this person is standing about 5'4". And he says, as he's walking, he just kind of bumps into, I imagine he bumps into Logan, probably. And immediately he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'll pay for your dry cleaning. It doesn't look like he's like trying to make eye contact with you at all. He does seem maybe a little bit nervous. And then when he finally looks up, he notices you don't have a drink in your hand. And then his eyes widen. And then he keeps going. He's wearing a gray suit and a gray hat. He has short, dirty, blonde hair. You would note he has a name tag that says The Sparrow on it. And he was in room 6. Sorry, what did you say? I'm sorry.
Me? No. I'm just trying to say, it's like, what does a sparrow mean? I've never heard that term before.
If you say that out loud, he doesn't say anything. He just kind of walks with his forehead first. Straight to the dining car.
All right.
Like a cast of characters.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's like we seem to have pretty, like, set archetypes, but the sparrow, that is a very interesting archetype. I've never heard of anything like that before. Anyway, well, I best be off. I best be changed. Have you guys changed yet? I just like point to like Mungo and Logan.
Not yet.
Yeah.
No.
Well. No. Not yet. All right. Well, I am going to see what selections they have for me. So, yeah. Catch you on in a hot minute.
Excellent. So now, I did drum roll this a little bit. So if unless y'all have something special you want to do before getting into cosplay, I will swap over to Logan, and then I'll jump to Mungo, and then I'll jump to Vinny to say, what will you don for your interpretation of the businessman, of the general, and of the countess? So, Liam, what would Logan wear for this?
All right, so I think for his attire as the businessman, and the card didn't seem to explain exactly what sort of business this businessman was into. So I think Logan's just gonna try to put together an outfit of like what he feels would be the most interesting, and kind of start thinking a backstory probably way beyond what this game requires. And he's just kind of pulling things together, and eventually he finds this striped purple vest that really pops, that he really likes, that he feels like will kind of make him stand out a bit more. And he's got this dark striped shirt, gray, black, finds a dark gray suit jacket, dark gray pants, those black and white, what they call rope shoes or whatever they are.
Oh.
And a fedora that he kind of like puts on quite tightly. And to his great pleasure, he finds a cane as well that looks fairly simple. It doesn't have any crazy flashy things about it, but it does look like it's quite sturdy. And once it's all ready, and he just kind of squints his eyes and just does a few face motions, and then starts kind of pacing back and forth, practicing his walk with the cane. Like he's got maybe like just the slightest hint of a limp. Like maybe if he didn't have the cane, his movement would be somewhat impaired.
Nice. Great. I love it. Well, once you're all dressed, do you head to the dining car?
Oh, and I obviously put my little businessman badge on.
Yes.
Name tag, and yes, and then I'll just go out there, and I'll just kind of just trying to think. Okay, what's the voice? I'm just kind of slowly walking around with my cane.
Great. Okay. Kaylee, what does Mungo don for the sake of being the general?
Yeah, so there's a fairly standard uniform, sort of, kind of bulky, general's military uniform with some like patches and medals and things. This is someone who's, been around a bit and seen a fair bit of conflict in various situations. There's, one of those, like, hats with the brim, too, that kind of, I don't know, there's probably a term for that, I don't know what it is.
I dig it.
Yeah. That's a sort of, like, the traditional, cap. There's also a pair of pince-nez, the little glasses with no,
very cool.
stems, like, just attached at the nose, and a little string coming down to tie onto his coat, and there's a fake mustache as well.
Yes.
He just sort of puts on there.
Love
and then
that.
He just sort of practices looking in the mirror and
Great.
sort of Mungo typically doesn't have the greatest posture. He is very tall, but he has a tendency to sort of slump. So he sort of brings himself up to his full height, sort of tries to look like someone with authority.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll also do a sort of similar voice type, like practicing of like sort of deepening his voice and saying, right, oh sir, yes, sir. Like he's just like saying things that he imagines.
Yeah.
maybe general would say. Is like, battle stations ready, men.
Yeah.
And then, he'll put on his badge as well and walk out of the car.
Great.
Walk out of his room to the car.
Fantastic. Now, Henry,
Ooh.
what is
Let's
Vinny
see.
done?
Yeah, so I feel like it's like what I imagine. Like each of the rooms, they obviously have like a huge selection of like clothes for us to wear, depending on like the character that we're at. So for the Countess, it's just like, ooh, there's so much variety here. What can I work with? It's like, okay, that's a 1920s blackbird dress. That's very like, Middle Eastern. And then one particular dress catches Vinny's eye. And Vinny's like, ooh, I would like this. So what Vinny has donned on is a modern Chinese dress. It's a cheap hao, if anyone knows it. Mulberry silk. It's a spring dress like with a mandarin collar as well. It's a full black overlay with like red flower embroidery like pattern all over. The cheapao even like it's as long. It stretches down to Vinny's like ankles, and Vinny also has like a matching black high heels along it as well. Vinny is then wearing like big white pearl earrings on them, and then to top it off, a black beret with like fish, like a little tiny fishnet just sort of like covers her eyes.
Oh, snap.
Love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. The
Great.
Countess. It's like,
Excellent.
the Countess. What sort of voice would I like the Countess? Hey y'all, I'm the Count. no, that would be suitable for a flapper dress. Oh, you know what? Screw it. It's a game anyway. Who cares?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
not expecting that.
I think Vinny says that. He's like, it's a game. Who cares? Like, I can do whatever I want.
I dig it.
That was very
Fantastic.
cool.
So, y'all decked out, y'all with your name tags. So, at this point, everyone is kind of gathered in the dining room, and, the detective, like, comes up from the back, and says, all right, we've got everyone here. Wait, hang on. And he just starts counting. And he's like, but where's and then from the cabins, y'all hear a door like swing open, and it hits the end of its hinge, and so you get like that unfortunate like boom, kind like not quite like slamming wood on wood, but like just like when you know that someone's being too aggressive with the furniture, that kind of thing, and you hear a sound as someone yells, "Is it time already? All right." And stepping out from the back, you see someone who he's got a metal flask in one hand and a glass in the other, and it's like he takes a big swig out of one. He takes a big swig out of another. Oh my gosh! And we have a redeem a problem for the players.
Oh no.
Okay.
I was hoping you wouldn't see that too soon.
Great. Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. He's like, as he's drunkenly moving forward, staggering a bit. He's gonna come up to you, and I'm gonna roll a quick die here.
Oh,
I'll
no.
say that 1, 2 is Vinny, 3, 4 is Logan, 5, 6 is Mungo. So, Vinny. Okay.
It gotta be me.
As he moves forward, he is going to he's gonna like trip a little bit,
Mhm.
and you'll see like he spills a little bit of his wine onto your cheap how, unfortunately.
Oh.
And it's like it's not like it's not a situation where you're like, oh my gosh, this is ruined, I have to change. It's just a little uncomfortable. It's just a little too moist. And he says,
Mm.
"Oh, You're a pretty one, aren't you?
Yes, and you have such etiquettes, don't you?
Oh, that's what I tell everyone around here. No one
Right.
seems to believe me though, but you understand me.
Yes, and a very quick one with sarcasm added as well. I quickly try to find like a handkerchief to try to dry off as much as much of the drink as possible.
Oh, well, I have to. I'm sorry, I have to go up. But if we could talk a little bit later, I'd like that very much. I'm in room 9. I just he just kind of leans. He's like, I just have to pretend to die, but then I'll be free the rest of the night.
I don't think I could find. I don't think there'll be a better role for you throughout this whole trip. And I just give him like a quick, like a smile, a quick smile, pat on the shoulder, and just like, now if you excuse me, and I just immediately try to dry off the wine on my body.
Excellent. So he starts to move forward, and well, Noelle, since you redeemed the problem, this is just the start of the problem. You'll see the problem unfold as we go. But he moves forward, and he's still kind of staggering a little bit. And as our illustrious detective here, not quite Rene Rose, as he begins to say, well, welcome everybody, and then in that third and, it seems like finally they heard the cue. The lights go out, and then he's like, is someone supposed to scream? Oh no, that's when the lights go on. Okay, the lights go back on, and you see the gentleman who had propositioned Vinny on the ground. He's just kind of laying there. You can still see his chest kind of moving up and down as he's breathing. He doesn't seem fully committed to the role, but the detective is like, "There's been a murder. Oh no!" And with that, we're gonna go to our mid-game break, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. We'll be back in about 10 minutes, so stay tuned, and we'll see if they're able to figure out what's gone on with this murder mystery. So, we'll see you in just one moment. Bye! Hey y'all, welcome back to Flabbergasted, to the Improv and RPG channel. Right now, there's been a murder! And our players, these characters, have to figure out who done it and how. Now, I did get a little hydrate redeem from Ivory Silver. Thank you so much. And of course, thank you so much for the lurk too. Here is my little hydrate. Here we go.
There we go.
Yes. Y'all are fantastic. Now, I'll do just a quick little recap. I've switched over to an overlay where you see a journal thing. Just so y'all are aware, just so we remember who's who. Of course, we had the giant of a man, essentially the same size as Mungo. Robert, who is the wanted, and the I guess the foil of his in the red suit, who is trying to hit on Sophia, who is the renegade. We have the feminine presenting person with the short brown hair, wearing the same clothes as they had when they boarded the train, the soldier. We have Vinny, who is the countess. We have Logan, the businessman, and Mungo, the general. Sophia, the long-lost friend Sophia from Porto, Portugal, who they were able to save from a loveless marriage, the heiress, and a kind of shifty gentleman who wasn't able to, who seemed a bit nervous as well, who's the Sparrow. And of course we had the detective, the detective who, unfortunately not Rene Rosé, a little stand-in, maybe someone who he's just trying his best, but still a little scared because, I mean, sure, he's not investigating a real murder right now, but there is a bit of performance anxiety too when you have to put on this show, when you have to start things off here. So, at this point, there's been a murder. Oh no! And when the lights come back up, y'all see with on the ground in front of the detective, you see the person who was hitting on Vinny lying on the ground with his chest moving up and down a little bit as he's got his eyes closed, but he's still breathing. He's you notice that he has the wine glass on the ground next to him, just a little bit of wine trickling out. What do y'all want to do? What is your inclination right now? As far as your immediate reaction goes, and then after that, I mean, I'll just go one at a time as far as who you want to talk to, what do you want to investigate, but let's go immediate reaction. I'll jump to the detective and then go to each of you. So.
I think Logan / the merchant, businessman, sorry, not merchant. The businessman's instinctual reaction is going to go, everybody calm down. And just kind of quickly try to walk with his cane all the way to the body and just be like, give it some room. And I'm going to start inspecting the body.
Okay, great. Okay, so initially, when you're like, everyone calm down, I'm gonna need you to do a little bravado and persuasion for me to see how well you're able to calm and, I mean, keep a general sense of pandemonium from occurring.
Who thought I would need dice for this? Give me a second.
We are 2 hours in, and this is the first dice roll, aside from determining what rooms you're in and who you encounter.
Oh, yeah,
all right.
sure.
And character sheets. So, we are saying bravado and persuasion.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not too bad at that.
Great.
So, we are looking at 1 success only.
Okay, 1 success is enough. I mean, I'd imagine that, like, you would hear 2 shrieks amongst the group. One very feminine shriek. I'd imagine that Sophia's probably sitting pretty close by to you, Vinny, and you would have heard her shriek. All of you also hear a slightly more masculine shriek, but it doesn't seem like whoever did that is fessing up to that.
I'm sure it's a renegade.
You're able to keep everyone calm as you move up towards the body. I'll have you do those rolls when after everyone's initial reactions. Now, Mungo, Vinny, what would your immediate reactions be?
I look around to just sort of see if perhaps this commotion has finally attracted the attention of the senior detective. And then, just sort of like do a quick look if I don't see them, and I just sort of like then try to hide my disappointment.
Oh.
Like, fine, it's fine. Probably busy.
And when you look around, when you look towards the front,
Yeah.
the inspector is like, I mean, your eyes aren't focused on him, so you would only see some vague movement. But he's like, it's the body's right here. It's not over there.
Right. I will make my way towards the heiress then.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Towards the heiress. Fantastic. And I'll have you do that roll after I've gone through everyone's reactions
Great.
and the detective. Vinny, what would your immediate reaction be?
I think the immediate reaction is as soon as like Sophia shrieks beside me, I'm just shocked. I'm just like, oh Jesus. Sort of like, clean my ears a little bit. It's like, oh, that was loud. I think I sort of like giggle a little bit, and hopefully Sophia giggles along with it too. It's just like, oh my god, this is so silly, but
Right.
it's nice and wholesome. But it's like, okay, cool. All right, yeah, it's like, okay, game face on. All right, I'm the countess now. So as the countess, Vinny then puts on like a very numb-plastered, like such dissociative demeanor from all of this, and I think Vinny just goes ahead and takes like whatever like prop. I guess there's like a little like the 1920s cigarette, like long cigarette prop, and immediately just pretends to smoke that, and just walks away from the heiress and just. Actually, no. I might just sit with the heiress as well. I'm just like, he got what he deserved.
Oh, great. So, with the immediate reactions there, the detective is going to say, all right, okay, so we've locked down these 3 compartments. We need to find out who the killer is. So, all of us, we're gonna start questioning each other. All right. Each of you, you know who you are and what your relation was to Mr. Morty down here. And from down there, you just kind of see like the hand raise for a second. Like, that's me. And the detective like just kind of kicks at that hand but misses. But he's like, so you're gonna talk to each other and check out the scene, see if there are any clues. But then you're going to at some point I need y'all to figure out and declare who you think the killer was, and let us know how the killer did it and why the killer might have wanted to do it. Who, how, and why. So, with that, well, let's take it away now. So, I'm going to start off with Logan. Logan, you're taking a look at the body. So, is there anything in particular that you're checking out?
I want to see, first of all, I want to see kind of how it might have happened, whether there's a wound or whether there's like foaming at the mouth or anything like that. That could give me an idea of how.
Great.
I died.
Okay, in this case, why don't you roll me a little bit of wit and sharp?
Okay, so far so good. Let's see. 2 successes.
Great.
Ooh.
So, here's what
Successes 5 and 6, right?
5 and 6, yes. So,
Yes.
you'll see, of course. He's dropped this wine glass. There's still just a little bit of red on his lips. You'll see that there is a like about where the liver is. There's a hole, and there is a knife on the ground. It's a plastic knife, but it seems like the sort of knife that you might have to use in the military.
Okay.
You also note with 2 successes that on like his temple, there seems to be a place where he might have been struck, and it looks like there is just a design of a dove there.
Interesting.
That's what you get at first glance, unless you decide to probe any further.
I think if I'm able to, but once I've noticed that, I guess I'm kind of hovering over the body. I'm gonna, as quietly as possible, try to go through pockets, or like just quickly just tick 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 throughout the pockets.
Okay.
And because I really want to do that sneakily, I'm going to use my surprising skill of pickpocket.
Oh!
So I'm going to go straight in with a CQ.
Great!
And just be like, oh my gosh, okay, there's a knife. And like, while one hand is just kind of waving it in the air and calling out, oh, there's a knife here. Everybody's looking at that hand that's up in the air, and the other one's just like rifling through pockets and looking for other clues.
Great. Okay, so here's what I'll tell you. With that scene cue, the first thing you find is the flask that he had kind of stumbled out of the out of his room with. Of course, he also had that glass, and he just kind of says, "Oh, that's mine. It's not part of it. Sorry." He just kind of whispers that. But you would also note a couple more things. So there is a little slip of paper that has a phone number on it. Little slip of paper, phone number. And also, you would note that he has, there's another little note that says, if you don't pay up, I'm going to tell him. Now, I'm going to jump over to Mungo. Mungo, you are talking with the heiress, right? What would you like to say? Well, what is your initial approach?
I walk over and I say, even for a man such as myself who has encountered violence in the field of battle, yes, one never gets used to it. My condolences. I believe you were once close?
Yes. And you would note that, like, as far as her reaction by comparison, she seems very, it's almost like initially she was a little confused and then she snaps into it. Once she snapped into it, it's still Sophia, but she seemed very, very committed to the role. And she says, yes, well, once upon a time, he was friends with my brother, and she kind of turns and looks over towards the wanted. He's very protective. But now, at this point, I need you to roll a little bravado persuasion, Mungo.
All right. Let's see what All right, that is no successes.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So,
Strong start.
she's gonna look a little suspiciously at you and say, "You said you know violence. Did you? And she'll immediately like lightly jog over to the wanted, her brother, and hide behind him, which is easy because he's huge.
I just sort of go, perhaps this approach isn't working. I should try a different approach.
Great. Who do you intend to go to next? Do you have an idea of who might be appealing to talk with?
Yeah, well, I think now I'm curious because now I know about the wanted being her brother, but I feel like I should stay away a little bit because now she's suspicious of me, and so I'll check out the renegade.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm going to put that on the docket, and I'm going to jump over to Vinny real quick. Vinny.
Yeah. I'm interested. Like, I don't. Okay, so before Mungo came over, I said my line of he got what he deserved.
Yeah.
Right beside Eris. What was Sophia's reaction when she heard that?
Sophia, her reaction is like, she kind of nods, but then it's like, it's the sort of like, maybe her gut was like, yeah, but then it's
Why would you say that?
and it's like almost like a little bit somber, a little bit sad.
Yeah. Huh. So that was in character. Okay. Interesting. Okay, I take note of that. I guess. I mean, if Mungo's here with the general, I think I'll just talk to the general first. I guess.
Oh, great!
Yeah. Just like, just terrible business, isn't it? Well, but as I said, I believe he got what he deserved.
Oh, I mean, and I have a little bit of like a smile of like, hey, it's Vinny, but then I'm like, yes. I'm just like, yes. I mean, you know, that's a rather strong statement. I mean, I can't say I was especially fond of him. He was a bit of a ne'er-do-well, but you know, to say he deserved it, why do you say that?
Ne'er-do-well, you say? Do you have a son yourself, General?
I do, yes.
Then you know you love him with all your heart, right? You do your very best to try to protect him.
Well, in a manly way, yes.
In a manly way, yes.
Yes, obviously.
Of course. For a female such as myself, I have my own ways of protecting my boy. And I failed in doing so because of that man lying down on the ground. You know what happened to my son, General? I knew him. I knew Mr. Morty when he was still respected. My son, you know, my husband was the governor of Venice for 20 years. I was hoping my son would run for office, but as I said, well, he's no longer with me because Mr. Morty over there, he was a friend of my son. But when they were traveling around somewhere in Brighton, my son got into a horse riding accident that resulted in his death. If only I taught him the measures of how to protect himself, and or maybe even not to indulge in such dangerous activities such as horse riding, my son might be still here today. He's not, but he is. But he was anyway, and now he's dead. So I guess I'm very happy. The fact that, you know, the man responsible for my son's death is now alone with my son.
That is one way to think of it. Certainly I can't begrudge you that. I am very sorry for the loss of your son. My son was also familiar with Mr. Morty as well. I may have known each other, run in the same circles.
You love to run in the same circles, don't they?
Yes,
Wow.
boys.
Boys indeed. Wow. Love your son as much as you can. And I am thankful that the same fate that happened to my son won't happen onto yours anymore.
Understood.
And I think I will just continue. I think, well, I better give one last look at the man. I want to see the face how he died. I stand up and walk straight towards the body.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, as you do that, I'm going to jump back to Logan in 1 second because everyone else is kind of going to move around too. The Wanted is going to be very like try to comfort. The Wanted is going to comfort the heiress. Now, the soldier is going to go up to the body. And Logan, you're gonna hear the soldier say, I think the Countess did it.
Up to me?
Not yet. I'm gonna tell you the lay of the land real quick.
Yeah,
but you do hear that. The Sparrow is also going to follow up to where the body is, but just kind of hover behind the two of you, behind Logan and behind the soldier. Now, the inspector is going to have a seat near the front between the kitchen and the dining area. You see he's like not facing, but you can kind of see like he's hyperventilating a little bit. And well, after a moment, back where Mungo is, you would hear Sophia, the heiress, say, I should probably go say goodbye. The renegade is just sitting. Logan.
All right. So when the soldier approaches, I think the businessman is just going to like grab his cane and slowly kind of prop himself up. The businessman is not old. This isn't a cane because it's old and limping. The businessman is probably late 20s, early 30s, but it seems more likely that it would have been as a result of an injury of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's going to really take his time kind of propping himself up on the cane. And since the soldier is the first person to show up, how big is the knife that was used for the stabbing? Like if I was to step over it to kind of hide it, would my foot be big enough or not quite?
Not quite. So
Okay.
I would say, well, actually, tell me how big are Logan's feet?
I'm going to say, so you have a very precise idea and very accurate. I'm going to say as big as yours.
Okay. Because I'll tell you, the knife is, the blade is a 3-inch blade. The handle itself is about maybe 2.5 inches.
Yes.
So 5.5 inches.
Not living in America, I have no idea what inches.
Hang on,
like.
let me convert. Let me convert. Inch to centimeters real quick. Centimeters? Is that good?
Yeah, sure.
About 14 centimeters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, and given that it's a knife, it's a bit off the ground and stuff, I imagine I could step on it and hide most of it. But it's probably kind of the blade might be sticking out a little bit.
Creativity and passion for me, baby.
All right. Creativity and passion. Oh, I've got so many dice in this.
Great.
And the one die I rolled didn't roll a 5 or a 6.
Okay. You
So,
go to try
no
to hide it,
successes.
you kick the knife. You kick
Oh,
it.
that was another idea I had. So
It
that
slides.
works.
Yeah, it slides over and it like bumps against the door that you had walked into to get into the dining car. And the sparrow immediately goes up to take a look at it.
As I do that, I kind of get up and I look at the soldier. And I'm like, looks like you lost something. Like pointing towards the knife. And when they go to look towards the knife that's now kind of slid away, I'm going to end that conversation there and just kind of make my way to the nearest window.
I will say this. You will hear something very quiet, like a whisper, as the soldier says, like you lost her?
I'm just going to keep going and go straight to that window.
Okay, where the sparrow is with the knife, or...
Oh, no, ideally a window where there isn't anyone there.
Oh, okay. What is your goal?
My goal is so I went through Morty's pockets, I found that note, and I now want to get rid of that note.
Ah, okay. Great. Cool. You have 2 notes. You have the note with the message as well as the number.
I'll keep the number. I just want to get rid of the note for the message.
Okay, great. What are you gonna try to do to get rid of the note?
Crack open a window. Maybe make a comment about how we should get some air in there. It's just getting a bit stuffy. And then just quietly just slip the note out the window.
Why don't you give me a little wit and sharp here?
Okay, come on. Oh, no way. That's 4 successes.
Oh my gosh!
Oh.
Yeah, easy.
That's 3 5s and a 6.
Oh my god.
Easy, like you just kind of hear like a lot of grumbling. Like, yeah, it's probably a good idea. Even down on the ground, like, yeah, it's a good idea. And everyone just kind of looks over at him, and you're able to take that moment to just go and just slide it out.
Oh, that was wild.
Okay, I'm gonna jump back over to Mungo now. Mungo, did you have inclinations to talk to the renegade?
Yeah, I was gonna make my way over there.
Sounds good. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna say?
I think I've decided to try a slightly less threatening approach. I take off my hat and I sort of put it against my heart and I say, what a terrible bit of business, am I right?
Right. I suppose that when people, well, when they put their noses in places they shouldn't, bad things happen.
What an interesting statement. Could you clarify what you mean by that?
My sister. He was trying to
Okay.
metaphorically put his nose in my sister.
Oh. Well, it's a graphic.
No, metaphorically.
Metaphorically, okay. Yes, right. Metaphorically. Yes, he was a bit of a... You know, they say you shouldn't speak ill of the dead, but... Well... You know. Were
Right.
you... Did you know him well yourself?
You want to give me a little bravado and persuasion?
Sure. Let's see. Hopefully this will go better this time. I think. Let me just double check my stats. No. It's not
Oh.
No.
my game, yeah.
Just no.
It's a 5 and 6 or successes, is that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yup.
yeah. I only got a 1 and a 3 and a 4.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Okay, so
Maybe
he's
this character isn't working.
he's gonna say, I heard. And he's gonna say this loud. I heard that your son went to parties with the Mr. Morty there. And that you liked him. Why did that stop?
Well, I mean, again, Mr. Morty's reputation was an open secret. I think we're all aware of his status. You know, perhaps he just rubbed me the wrong way.
If you're aware of his status, then you're aware of mine as well.
I understand you're somewhat of a renegade.
Yes, the renegade.
So, it seems strange that you should be in opposition to Mr. Morty when it seems like you would have been friends with him as well.
I was. Until he broke the code.
Your sister.
Right.
Yes. Yes, it seems like he made many enemies by putting his nose in places where it didn't belong, as you said.
Exactly. Is there anything else? I feel like getting a drink.
Well, don't let me stop you. And yeah, I can tell. Maybe this hasn't gone quite as well as I wanted, so I'll step aside, yeah. Move to speak to someone else next.
Okay. Think about who you want to go to next. Vinny.
Yeah. Okay, so I am walking towards the body. And I think... So who's on the body now? Or who's nearby the body?
Well, I know that Logan had stepped away to the window. The soldier is still standing there. They would be the closest to the body, followed by the sparrow, who has gone over to take a look at the knife.
Right. So I think I just go to the body and I just say... I think I just give... I first give like a cold hard stare. I kneel down, give this stare, and I think to say, I wish I was the one who did this to you. After all you did to my son. And I just like a very dry laugh, a dry chuckle. Well, if you do see my son in the later life, make sure to tell him that you're sorry. Anyone else who hears this, I'm doing this to elicit any response from anyone just like around me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from where you are, the sparrow doesn't respond, but you've already seen that the sparrow just kind of tends to focus in on one thing at a time, just like when they walked right by. The soldier hears this, and you hear a scoff. But then you hear just kind of like a whimper from behind you. As Sophia,
is Sophia?
you kind of see just kind of tears welling up in her eyes.
Oh no, make her cry. No, it's her acting. It's her acting.
And she does go down to the body, and she reaches a hand to just kind of caress the cheek, and you would see on her ring finger a ring that has the symbol of a dove on it.
Oh. And I don't know if we need to roll again, because the information that was provided was only provided to Logan, right? So do I need to roll the same roll again to see the dove on Mr. Morty's forehead?
I'd say you do, unless Logan has told you. I don't think Logan took a moment to tell you.
No, Logan was being sneaky.
Right.
Yeah.
Why would I trust you? We're not friends.
Yeah,
I don't know.
we're all
you.
not friends here, apparently.
Give me a wit and sharp.
What's the win and sharp? All right, I got 3 on this. All right, let's see. Come on. Okay, that's good. One more. 2 6s, 2 successes.
Okay, yeah, you definitely noticed that. You see.
Okay, right.
You see the same symbol that is on her ring and on his forehead.
Yeah. I think what I do is that I don't call it out immediately, but I immediately address the scoff that the soldier made. So I just like, and what's funny to this to you? What if I said that made you laugh?
That you wish you were the one who did it?
You got any other opinions? If you want to say it, just say it right now.
All right. I think you killed him. Because I see all these bits of evidence on the body. And you know what. And the soldier will gesture towards themselves, towards Mungo, towards Sophia, and say, you know several people here, and these bits of evidence could easily point to them. There's a bit of evidence that might point to you. Seems a little suspicious.
What about you, Mr. Soldier? Mrs. Soldier, what's your story?
Why don't you roll a bravado and persuasion
Yeah.
for me?
Yeah. All right. Let's go. Come on. Oh my God, 4 3s. That's not good. Hold on.
Have you seen cues?
I am trying to. Let's see.
While you're looking that up,
Ooh,
I'll tell
yeah.
everyone who's new to the game, scene cues are like your special abilities. Essentially, if you can find a way to make it work in the moment, you can use it, and essentially, it will take the place of the roll, and you'll succeed. So,
Okay. I will use my scene cue lucky break. Luck has always been on your side. Even when something goes bad, you can usually find a way to make it work for you. You automatically succeed on the failed roll of your choice. You can use this for another player's failed roll. Sorry, I'm going to be selfish here. I'm going to use this for mine.
Great.
So I think what happens is that I see Sophia just crying. I'm just like, oh my God, I said all these mean things. This is just my fault. I'm just like flustered. I think this is the first time that Vinny gets flustered. He's like, oh, like she Vinny doesn't want to see Sophia cry, but it's like, oh no, wait, this is just a bit. But then again, it's like, yeah, tries to direct that to questioning the accusations, false accusations of the soldier. and try to direct it on him. Like, yeah, what's your story?
Okay, great. So the soldier, they're going to maybe you know that they have the steely facade, but as Sophia is breaking down into tears, every now and then she like raises a fist and brings it down on the chest of Morty, and then you just hear a ugh. I didn't have to go that hard into the role. But it's almost like she's taking a little bit of pleasure in this because they've done this before, so so there might be a little bit of real animosity there between
Oh my
the two of
God.
them. But
Jesus.
but the soldier does seem to soften a little bit and say, I loved someone once. I hired Mr. Morty to help me find her. I paid him a lot of money. He wasted it, with no result. Or so I thought. I found out that he found her within a week. Didn't tell me. So he could get more money out of me.
Wow. Mrs. Soldier, the plot thickens.
Yeah. It does.
Wow. We all have animosities, I guess, that relates to Mr. Morty. The general over there, apparently, well, Mr. Morty is much of a party man, and the reason why I despise his guts is the fact that he went on a traveling trip with my son. My son died, and he didn't. I blame him for the death of my son. The general, his son, also parties with Mr. Morty. Haven't really inquired much about his relationship, but that's as much as I know anyway. Maybe he wasn't too pleased of the fact that Mr. Morty's parting ways has affected him.
I see. Well, then, it feels we feel the same way about Mr. Morty. Quite a few of us.
Yeah. And I just then divert my gaze to, especially the heiress over here. Just and then seeing Sophia, the heiress, going at it, it's like, heiress, what on earth are you doing? Sorry, I'm laughing so hard. Liam is trying so hard to do
I'm
the
very
control.
I'm very sorry.
Let's
I
jump
think I
over
just
to
got
Logan,
shredded.
who
Oh no.
apparently, when he opened a window, he was attacked by a wild animal that just jumped
I was
from a
like-
branch.
I
very
look
sorry.
over and I just see Kat. I'm just like, God, you can't do this to me when I'm in the scene. And then doing the scene and then looking over, I see Liam just struggling with it.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
God.
Carry on.
No, it's amazing.
Great.
I asked the heiress to be like, what's gotten a hold of you? What on earth are you doing?
I'll come back to that in just one moment. Logan,
Oh,
you threw the paper away.
Thank you. Yes, I did. All right. So now I've managed to get rid of the paper. I kind of look around, try to figure out what my next move will be. It feels like, just from the things I've heard and the way people are behaving, everyone seems to have some sort of a motive. It seems like this person was not liked very much at all. No, don't eat my die. And I think I'm going to go towards the general, actually, when the general is available.
Okay. Well, I mean, you'd definitely be able to go up to the general right now. The general, I believe you were contemplating who to go to next. Where would you have gone? I could say that maybe Logan catches up to you as you're on the way there, so then it'll be 3 of you in a conversation. So where would you go, Mungo?
I was actually reminded of the scene cues, and I was going to use one of my scene cues.
Oh, which one?
I'm going to use the well-read scene cue, which is with an excellent education, a well-stocked library at home, and plenty of idle time. You know a little something about everything. You may impress those around you with your superior knowledge or recall an important piece of information to aid you in a predicament. So I'm thinking more of the second, which is like, sort of looking around, seeing sort of more, instead of seeking out a specific person, more sort of location scouting. And the bit of the bit that I'm going to recall is reading the exploits of Detective Rose to be like, okay, what is like one of the pearls of wisdom in a like murder case, one of the things that I would notice.
Great. So I'd say this. Detective Rose, a lot of times what Detective Rose likes to do is when they're interviewed by the press, by the public, at the once they've discovered something, is that they like to do a very grand summation where they take you through the entire process of these are the things that happened. This is why this person would be a suspect, which is why they wouldn't be, because that's too obvious. And then they go through. It's a very long-winded thing. It's very methodical, but they're able to keep everyone on pins and needles thinking about it. And as you do that, as you recall that, I will give you this thing where you look down at the body, you see where the hole is. You look down at the skin, and the skin, you see that it's because of course the hole where the knife would have driven in, the knife that might have a military knife, which kind of points the finger at you and at the soldier. But you note that the skin around there is this dry yellow, instead of it being like bloodied. And this dry yellow would be a result of stabbing that occurred after the person had died, not what might have killed them, because the heart would have at that point stopped beating. So then it's not like the blood would just start, spurting out or anything. So you note that detail. And as you note that detail, Logan, the businessman, you see the general pondering something. Oh, you're muted.
I do a quick little wave, and then I contain myself and get back to the character.
Oh, you're still muted, Logan.
Still muted.
You're still
there.
There we go.
Son of a gun.
I thought your cat.
Yeah, I thought the cat's back again.
Decided to silence you.
I'm having a rough go of it.
Oh, no.
All good.
I think the cat did it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Sorry. Give me. Yes. This is why I wanted to talk to you. So, question, because it wasn't part of the details in the note that you gave me, Matt, would I have met the general before?
I would say so. Yeah. As far as the general is concerned, the businessman would have maybe interacted with you on a couple occasions, likely at a ball or two. And I imagine the businessman might have been very cordial on those occasions.
Okay, cool. So I will approach the general. Well, good day to you, sir. Unfortunate circumstances to see you again. how's your family?
Oh, thank you. They're quite well. But considering,
Oh.
I mean, my son will be saddened to know of the news of his friend. I
Well-
imagine my daughter probably less interested.
Yes,
But
well,
my son was close, which you know what boys are like.
I do not, but I hope I will be able to start a family of my own someday. And if I am to understand this character, points in the direction of the body, I hope that my children will be kept safe from the poor influences of such characters.
Yes.
Your daughter, you say she's well.
Yes, she's quite well.
I'm quite happy to hear it. I believe I have just very briefly met her once at one of those events where we may have encountered each other. Yes, very lovely lady.
Yes, thankfully, she seems to have, not inherited my son's. She seems smarter than my son is what I'm saying.
Yes,
That
I
is the
mean
way with children.
she did strike me as intelligent as she's beautiful, if I may say so myself.
Well, be careful there.
Oh, I mean, sorry, I meant no disrespect
Of course.
whatsoever. I just know that whoever she finds and that you will approve of will definitely keep her safe from this sort of rabble. And I'm sure she is fortunate to have you to make sure that continues until someone else can take on those responsibilities.
Yes, well, as I say, parents only can control so much about who their children grow up to be, and but I'm sure, if it is a family that you desire, that you'll find that someday. You seem, very enterprising young man.
Well, that I am. And speaking of enterprise, I do believe it's high time we figure out what happened here. This Morty character, I very few dealings with him, but it feels like this is such a crime that should still be resolved. There needs to be order in this world. What did you say?
Oh, I agree entirely. I am a fan of order.
Yes. Rules and orders. Things need to have their place, and the good folks that are trying to make an honest living need to be kept safe from dangerous characters. And he kind of looks around the room, kind of pausing, and then says, unfortunately, it's not as easy as just looking at someone to know whether they are innocent or not. Do you have any thoughts yourself? It seems quite a few people wanted him dead.
Yes, I just spoke to the heiress, and it seems she, was not shedding any tears over the death of Mr. Morty. Apparently, him and her son were quite close until her son's death, which she blames him for. I believe the heiress may have been close once with Mr. Morty, but couldn't get much information from her. Spoke to the renegade, who seems to have had his dealings as well with Mr. Morty until things were soured before them. Yes, it does seem as though most people here had a complicated relationship. May I ask yourself, did you know Mr. Morty pre his
Very,
state?
very briefly. We've had some conversation. I believe he wanted to enter some sort of business dealing, but we'd only spoken very little details. I did not realize he would be on this train up until I saw him here. I was actually quite surprised. But no, our interactions were very few and limited, really. I myself have only known him through the stories I've heard here today.
Pause.
One
second. I just want to see what Vinny is doing during
yeah.
this back and forth.
Yeah. So I'm back. So was Mungo talking about the heiress or the countess?
Initially, it was the countess.
I meant to say the countess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was confused with the
Yeah.
information. I was like, okay, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
So I am continuing the scene where I see Sophia banging. I got information from the soldier, know his story or their story, and now I'm back onto the heiress, who is just pounding on the chest of the Mr. Morty. So I think, and then seeing the dove ring, the dove engraved ring on her finger, and then matching that with the forehead, I think I take that time, and then seeing how she's acting with Mr. Morty, and I just say, I say, what on earth are you doing? Yeah, I continue to wanted to follow up on that question I posed. Yeah.
So with that, I'll say this: like when she starts getting a little bit more aggressive. Like initially there was a bit of a reaction from
I see
Mr. Morty, but the Wanted also comes up, like sprints forward because very protective of his sister. The Renegade is just kind of like off to the side, just a little freaked out. But as you ask her, she says, he was friends with my brother. I thought I was in love with him. I met him because he was friends with my brother. I thought he was in love with me too. I was gonna elope with him until I found out that this was all a part of this nefarious plan to get back at my brother for not lending him money. It broke my heart. I thought he loved me. No one deserves to go through what I went through.
No, I don't think anyone should. Is that the reason why you punched him square in the head? And I gesture to that ringed finger, the dove, almost coincidentally matches up to the dove-shaped engraving on his forehead.
What are you insinuating?
Hi, your feelings are valid, and you have your frustrations, but do you deny that you punched him square in the face? I mean, clearly, and then I didn't get the details, so clearly he was stabbed.
I punched him, but I didn't kill him. And the Wanted, like, kind of steps up to you a little bit, in like an imposing manner, still staying protective of his sister.
Of course. Are you? And I look up to the Wanted. Aren't you glad to see him finally dead in order to protect your sister?
I would be lying if I said I wasn't glad. But death is not the way. Murder is not the way. I heard that the sparrow had paid him to accompany him to balls so that he could learn how to speak with women. Isn't that right? And the wanted turns to where the sparrow was. But the sparrow isn't there anymore. When you look over there, you just see the blade on the ground. Of the knife.
Hmm. Oh, he was there a moment ago.
Oh, you barely notice him wherever he goes, except for the sniveling he does.
Is that the reason why he was called the Sparrow? Flies about, you never noticed him.
Yes, I suspect so. That he... Well, no one pays attention to him. Little, not eye-catching in any means, but not ugly enough to be paid attention to either.
Interesting. Well, if we're going to talk about rumors, I've heard that the Renegade used to hang out with Mr. Morty as well. And I think so there's an heiress, there's the heiress, the wanted, the soldier, I think, here at this point. So I think I just say this as a statement. It's just the Renegade used to hang out a lot with Mr. Morty. They would brag about their conquests at times, but I've heard that this stopped when Mr. Morty started dancing with the Renegade's sister a lot. And I look back to the heiress and just seems like your fears about him was true. And yeah, he's not as a faithful man as he was before. And we're all just means to an end for him. And look where it got them. And then I point to Mr. Morty on the ground.
Great. Now I'm going to pop back over to Logan and Mungo real quick.
Is the wine glass still by the body?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay. I would like to pick up the wine glass just carefully by the stem, and sort of sniff at the contents. Or I guess it's empty, but
Right.
it was the remnants of the wine.
Yeah. I mean, you just kind of you kind of get the sense of I mean, Mungo, you know quite a bit about wine, right? You've had your fair share of wine.
Yeah,
maybe?
he's at least had good wine. Yeah.
Right. It is good wine.
Mm-hmm.
But it does have this undertone of almond that seems a little odd.
Interesting.
I'm kind of sad that I know what that means out of character. Whatever that says about me.
I'm trying to think.
Same.
Yeah, I also know it is, and I'm trying to think if Mungo knows what it is.
It's almond-flavored wine.
Yeah.
Exactly. So delicious.
The most prestigious type of wine there is. Almond flavors.
Logan,
so obvious.
Mungo just walked away from you and picked up the wine glass. What are you gonna do, Logan?
I'm slightly caught, but I still hopefully got to make maybe somewhat of a good impression on the general,
Maybe
which was the main purpose of this intro. Someone died. Yeah, okay. Let me just still go try to make a good impression.
Yeah.
We're here to make friends, right? Around this dead body. That's the aim of the game. So so we were kind of mid-conversation, and clearly I think I noticed that the general had a thought in their mind, and they just kind of went, and then just walked away because they clearly needed to chase that up, which is fair enough. And so I'm just going to kind of look around and be like, let's go speak to the detective then.
Okay. As you go over, I need to send all of you an extra little bit of detail.
Yay, more information.
Yes. Yes. And I'm sorry we're over just a little bit, but I promise you we will be done very quickly. Very, very quickly. So
good.
I am going to hang on. Our overlay. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. I'm gonna send in the Zoom chat because I know now how to do it.
Oh.
And I'm gonna send you each a little thing. There's that. There's. Okay. You kind of know this. And. Sorry, 1 second. It's.
Alright, the cat has settled and is now quietly purring on my lap, so.
Yes. Love it. Remember to squish that cat.
Oh god.
Squish that.
I'm scared to move in case he wants to like start choosing me like a climbing tree again.
Squish that cat. Is he a shoulder cat kind of cat?
I mean I've only had him for like a couple of weeks, but turns out he is.
Shoulder cat. Love those cats.
I mean, we know cats love attention, so he probably knew, like, oh wait, I'm gonna be on the interwebs. People will watch me. Let me just
that is where
get
it's
some
happening.
height.
So, well, I've sent each of you a little thing.
What?
And
Why would you do that to me?
well, I'm going to start with Logan. Logan, you suggested going to talk with the inspector, and everyone else, like everyone else in this party, it's like, okay, let's go. Let's go talk to the inspector. So Logan, do you want to I mean, you formulate it into your own words here, but you've got some details, and the detective is like essentially grilling everyone, saying, oh, so then what did you do it?
Are you the murderer?
Sorry, I need to process this.
No worries. Do you want me to go to Vinny first?
Yes, please.
I think I sent it to Vinny first. So
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
yeah, sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, it's all good.
So I think.
Did you do it?
Okay, wait. So we're all in front of the inspector, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And we can now divulge the stuff that was given to us, or
Right. What I just sent you, like essentially in your own words. I mean, he
right.
lined up. It's the three of you.
Right.
You've got Sophia, the heiress.
Yeah.
You've got the wanted. You've got the renegade. And for the sake of time, I'm not going to have them do their statements.
Okay.
But you've got the soldier.
Right.
Morty is kind of like really, really committed to the bit now, just still laying there.
Yeah.
As the inspector asks, "Did you do it?"
No. I just say I blame him for the death of my son. After that horse riding accident, I banished him, exiled him even from the circles of society. And from my understanding of the situation, he made apparently a lot more enemies than I initially imagined. And I would say it would have been better if he stayed away from our circles. It would have been safer. And I look at like the general, like with your son, daughter, families. But apparently he didn't. He came back and one of his enemies took their revenge. I'm not sorry that he's dead. But the blood is on my hands. The blood is not on my hands.
Then who could it have been? Logan?
Sorry, sorry. I thought Vinny was being asked, do you think Logan could have done it?
Oh, no.
I barely even talked to the man, which I should have done, but oh well.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So sorry, I was fully reading what you'd said.
Mm-hmm.
So I also walk up to the inspector or detective person, and so the detective asks me if I did it. Is that what's happening?
Did you do it?
No, I. Did you? Is that how investigating usually works?
I'm sorry. I'm not in the. I don't have the thing. I'm just a.
So you.
I didn't.
So you didn't do it. Okay.
I didn't do it. Did you?
I also didn't. So who did it then?
Is that all you had to say?
Well, you're the detective.
I feel like there's more underneath that charming facade.
No?
And everyone else just kind of leans into.
Everyone else. It's like the whole scene stops and everybody just, for some reason, pays attention to me. Well, I mean, if you didn't do it and I didn't do it, I mean, I couldn't have done it. I barely knew the man. Why would I have done it? And it didn't seem like the kind of person you'd want to know anyways. Everybody here seems to hate him. So,
did you have no connection with him?
Oh, no, I met him a couple of times. We spoke business, but
What
it was
kind
very
of business.
I believe he was looking for some information or had information to barter. He wanted to sell me information about people, and I was like, I don't have any interest in that sort of thing. So I'm not in that sort of business. But he seemed to think I was, and I really wasn't. It wasn't a pleasant interaction for sure. And it doesn't seem like this man had any pleasant interaction with anyone whatsoever. Unless he could manipulate them. And then I kind of look over at the Countess and even at the General. I'm like, clearly a bad influence to many. It seems that of all of the wonderful parties represented here today, bar one, I would assume, this couldn't have happened to a better person.
I see. Okay. How about you, General?
Well, I can't say I was especially fond of the man either. He was somewhat of a layabout. He caroused with my son and took interest in my daughter, but didn't kill her.
What? He took interest in your daughter? What a foul man.
Oh. Okay. What kind of interest?
Yeah, what kind of interest?
I mean, from what I've heard from this party, it seems like he took interest in most of the women here, either here or relatives of people here.
Could he be the father of your grandchild?
Sorry, what?
Could Mr. Morty be the father of your grandchild?
Where did you hear something like that?
Well, I'd heard that, and it might have been swept under the rug a little bit, but I've read the notes, and I know that your daughter has a son. And
a son?
If there weren't Well, if there was no one else involved, then Mr. Morty would be the father, wouldn't he?
But I mean, I scarcely think my daughter would. No, I mean, have my children made mistakes in their life, perhaps, but believe me, it's not with a man like Mr. Morty.
Having met the general's daughter on a couple of occasions, it is clear that a person such as her would have much better taste than a drunk partygoer. She struck me as a person of integrity, someone who would not give herself to anyone unless she was guided by true feelings that are pure and legitimate. I would not think that the general here present would have raised a daughter that would mix in with such. And I just kind of waved disgustingly at the body on the ground.
Who else could it be then, if not Mr. Morty? Without all of this?
There are many masks that we all have to take. Businessman. Mr. Businessman.
Whoever it had to be, I am sure that she had her reason to do it. And I sure hope that this man can hold up to his end of the bargain and be able to look after this son of theirs properly.
Well, he can't. He's dead on the ground.
Did you not listen to a word I said? There is no way that this wonderful woman could ever associate herself with such a scoundrel.
Who could it be?
There are several other people here. Why are you concentrating your interest on?
It's probably the Wanted. And the Wanted says, if it is my child, I will gladly marry into your family and raise it.
What?
What?
I don't think you're wanted that way.
Oh, Wanted surely got some moves here. I mean, tall guy with big frame and an iron butt. I mean, that is something to die for sure. I don't blame your daughter for falling for a guy like that, honestly.
She would never. That's not even the type of man she likes. She likes someone with intellect, someone that is savvy and smart and that is able to string more than a sentence together.
I feel like you're projecting a lot of how I feel like you're projecting a lot of how you're feeling right now, Mr. Businessman, to the situation. Why are you incredibly passionate about this? Don't tell me you also have feelings for the general's daughter as well.
Feelings do not come anywhere near the right amount of words to describe what I feel for your daughter. And I kind of look at the general and I'm like, I'm sorry. I know you would not approve because I am not of your standing. But here it is, the truth. And if you wanted a man to look after your daughter, I am this man. I will raise this child, and I will love your daughter, look after her, and keep her safe, even from the likes of him. And I point at the ground, realizing that I've just kind of incriminated myself into doing something that I did not do.
So you would kill Mr. Morty then?
For love.
It seems like a lot of things is for love. I would like to kill him for the love of my son who is now dead. The general would kill to ensure the integrity of his love for his family. Brotherly love for the wanted. You for the love of the general's daughter. Eris, deceived of love, apparently. Seems like she was in for the ride because the Eris was just a means to an end to get back at the wanted for doing something that he didn't want to do. The soldier loved someone and Well, Mr. Morty just failed to provide him the information that he needed regarding to find that person that he loved. And the renegade, I know that perhaps Mr. Morty had affairs with his sister. Maybe that's the reason why. Protection of his sister. But then there's a sparrow. Sparrow.
Speaking of which, where is he?
Is he not? Sleazy. Out of sight. Out of mind.
You look around. Everyone is present except for the sparrow.
Which room was he at? Does anyone remember?
Did I see the sparrow?
He was near the knife. He was near the knife and then disappeared.
When you mention the knife, you go look over there. You see the blade, but the handle is gone.
Interesting.
Interesting. The handle. So the blade itself is still there, but the handle that was on for. Oh. I think
Sparrow came out of room 6.
Right. Is where the knife is. Does that? I mean, if he were to so where the knife is, it's basically in the same direction where like our rooms are, right? Our dormitories.
The knife was next to the door that you used to get into the dining car.
Right. Okay.
From the station, from the platform.
Oh, okay. Then that makes sense because I was like, he would have like walked past us. Like you would have said like he walked past us. He wouldn't just like suddenly fly over us for some reason.
Right.
So I assume that literally sparrow. So I assume that is the direction. So I think I just go ahead, like without saying anything, I just go ahead and just try to look at the knife, but then I go ahead and just open the door to see if I could try to find the sparrow.
Wow. Well, this is the door to get onto the platform, not the rooms or anything.
Oh, okay.
So the train is moving, in which case if you were to open it, you just see the countryside.
Oh, okay, right. Okay. Huh. Where did he go? Can I look around to see like what other possible routes that this person could take?
All three of you want to do a wit and sharp for me?
Yeah, let's do wit sharp.
Absolutely. Let's see.
Oh. All right, got one success.
Thanks.
No successes.
Okay.
Oh, definitely not your game.
Great. Okay, Mungo, you don't notice, but Logan and Vinny notice that Mr. Morty hasn't moved in a while.
Mr. Moore. I go ahead and just use my 2 fingers and just like gently feel like his one of the arteries underneath his chin and see if it's like awake or something.
Nope.
Or
He dead?
so I'm like
Nothing.
and then I put a finger underneath his nostril. No air coming out.
Nope.
Guys, Mr. Morty's dead.
Well, yes, we're aware that is.
No. He's not breathing.
Wait,
His heartbeat stopped.
but who is he really though? Is he wasn't, and I think Logan's voice like switches between his normal voice and
Yeah.
and his character voice, like not knowing what's actually going on. It's just like,
Yeah.
but who is Mr. Morty?
Mungo's fake mustache droops.
Such a serious moment. It's like, oh shit.
And yeah, I'll turn back to the detective or whatever, and I said, if this isn't a game anymore, if there's a person who really died, who is this man?
Hadn't who really killed him?
I don't know. But
Where's Renee? Where's Renee right now? Get her on the scene.
at the front of the
All right.
train.
I rush. I rush immediately.
Okay. And what are Logan and Mungo doing as Vinny start to rush?
I think I'm gonna follow.
Mungo?
Yeah, I'll follow as well.
Okay.
Just sort of, taken aback by this.
Looking to find Renee Rose, realizing that Mr. Morty is in fact dead. As you rush forward, realizing, of course, you haven't seen the sparrow in quite some time. Well, that is where we're going to leave off this session.
Oh no!
Because we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens next time. Because I have something very special in mind. But y'all are in a little bit of a race against time here. From the back of the train to the front of the train. So, we'll see next time. Y'all, thank y'all so much for being here. Y'all are absolutely incredible. Audience, thank y'all for tuning in. Again, I want to throw out a big thank you to Anonox for the raid. That was so wonderful of you. Thank you so much. Before we roll out, I just want to give one final chance for each of my players to say who they are, who they've been this evening, and if they have anything to promote. Let's start with Henry with Liam on deck.
Hi, my name is Henry, and I have been Vinny Vulpes in this scenario, and yeah, I am absolutely flabbergasted at that ending. Why did you do this to us, Matt? We were here doing a simple, fun murder mystery with ha-has and hee-hees and hoo-hoos, and yeah, there's an actual murder now. So, oh goodness me. Anyway, yeah. But God, nothing to promote. I'm still very happy to be here. God, I can't the next month just come already?
Let's go. Thank you so much, Henry. All right, Liam with Kaylee on deck.
Hey everyone, name's Liam, and today I played Logan, who played the businessman. We had a quick appearance from Riku, my black and white cat, who absolutely shredded my back, and I apologize, / you're welcome for that extra bit of unplanned entertainment.
Yes.
If you want to see more TTRPG stuff and some video game stuff, you can find me at A Geek of One's Own, which is my channel on Twitch, where I do more TTRPG and video game stuff. Thanks, Matt, for having us, and thanks everyone for tuning in.
Thank you so much, Liam. Now, Kaylee with myself on deck.
Yes, hi, I'm Kaylee. I played Mungo as well as the Gen. What was that? Oh, yes. Check out mastermindadventures.com for details on premium games of all sorts of tabletop role-playing games led by professional games masters. Yeah, this has been this is an unexpected twist, but super fun. Thanks to Matt, and thanks to all the player audience.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kaylee. And I have been Matt. I have been the director, aka Game Master, this evening. And I just want to say a big thanks to y'all for tuning in, to my cast for playing. Y'all have been absolutely wonderful, as always. A big thanks to Chelsea and Fleur of Wanderer's Tome for creating such an incredible game, which I misspelled the name of for the command. So there you go. If you want to get your hands on this incredible game, check them out. They also have some new exciting projects that are on the horizon too. So y'all should definitely check them out. And if anyone has, if anyone has inclinations to get caught up on this series, I have the playlist of all the episodes right now in the chat. If you want to check out what's happened in the past to lead them to where they are now, see where Sophia came from. So, y'all, you've been so wonderful. Thank you so much. And I think it's time for our good old sign off. As always, y'all, wherever you are, whenever it happens to be, I hope y'all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening. And until next time, stay safe and take care. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Hi, thank you.
Wait, Naiad. Naiad, no. Oh no. Thank you for the raid.